Hiya, ladies. Tulip and Patty. There's a pair getting a drink. Howdy, little piggers. You're up and about this morning. You don't need to be afraid of me. I don't know, guys. It's been a while. Can you run? I don't want to. Run, 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 run. There, it's warmer in the sunlight. I'm just trying to help. Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Are livestock pets? Are they pets? Are livestock pets? That's a difficult question to answer. Good morning, cows. Oh, I see, Patty, you came back out to yell at me. That's good. These guys are coming up to see me. Look at the grass hanging out of his mouth. I love it. It's the end of November and our cows are still on pasture. Can't beat it. Good morning, Sally. You are round as a barrel. Look at how round you are. You've been eating good, that's for sure. Here, let me get a glamour shot of you. There you go. That's perfect. I've been thinking about this question for a while because I get a lot of feedback that seems to indicate that attitudes toward farm animals are changing, just like everything else. And a lot of folks that haven't lived on a farm or worked with animals as partners, I call partners, tend to think of them more like pets because you interact with them every day and you do form a bond with them. I mean, that's just natural. That's part of caring about what you're doing, what you're raising, and caring for other living things. Hey, Mr. Titus. How are you enjoying this sunshine? Your black coat really soaks up the heat, doesn't it? Yes. I think the key to the whole thing is to remember that when you're raising livestock in a commercial operation such as ours, every animal needs to have a job to stay on the farm. It's as simple as that. The quickest way to convert a profitable farm to an unprofitable farm is to make it into a petting zoo, and to lose that idea of you can look at every animal that you have and say that animal's purpose is X. Hey, little one. You're a cutie. You are. And you too, 2205. So standing out here with our beef cattle, I can look at every single one and say, this is the purpose for that one. This is the purpose for this one. There's 4 main types of cattle out here. We've got the 2 bulls, who their job is to breed the cows and to help provide the next generation of calves. We've got the mama cows, and their job is to make babies. We've got the yearlings. Oh, I shouldn't put that finger up. We've got the yearlings, and their job is to keep on growing, gain weight, and they're the ones that are going to the butcher next year in 2023. And then we have the calves, who were just born last summer, and they're going to be around for about 2 years to the end of their life. And in the end, everybody's job is to provide meat. So the cows, when they age out, is just as we took a 15-year-old cow to the butcher just earlier this week. In the end, I mean, they're providing meat. If they get too old to calve, or they look to us like they're suffering when the weather gets cold, or they, have the various infirmities of old age, they go to the butcher. And the same with the bulls. When they age out, they'll go to the butcher. Yes, they've been around a long time, but that's kind of a part of that contract I have raising animals, that I have these animals here to make a living, and the more animals I carry that don't produce, the less profitable my farm is, and the more work for me taking care of animals that don't have a purpose. I know that can sound harsh to somebody that hasn't grown up on a farm, but having grown up on a livestock farm, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's not something I think twice of, and sometimes it's really hard for me to bridge the gap between farmers and non-farmers in terms of understanding, because to me, I'm raising an animal for a use, for a purpose, and that's it. That's why the animal's here. Hi, Red. You want to get up and visit with me? Red's being uncooperative for the camera, and that's okay. She's all snuggled up in here. And pigs are the same way. We've got really 3 types of pigs. We got a boar. We got sows. Their job is to provide the next generation of piglets, and the piglets grow out and they go to the butcher. It's even simpler with pigs than it is with cows, because pigs have a shorter turnaround time. You know, a sow can have a litter every 4 to 5 months, and those piglets grow out in 6 months and away they go. You know, we don't keep any as pets. We care for the ones that we have here, and they're cute little buggers, and I enjoy interacting with them, but it never leaves the back of my mind that in 6 months you're out of here. I mean, that's the way it works. That's the way our farm makes its profit. You're not going to get up, are you? I don't blame you. It's nice and warm today. It's a good day to lay and take a snooze. Howdy, little ones. Billy, Mrs. Pigglesworth, and Tiny Tim. Additionally, since we're kind of a breeding stock start to finish farm where, you know, our breeding stock is usually born here, we have to evaluate what's born and say, well, do we want to keep them for breeding stock? Same thing happens with cattle. You know, we have cull heifers in the other yard that we've decided aren't good enough for breeding stock, and they're going to the butcher. We do the same thing with pigs. So little Billy here, he's obviously really nice stock, and we're going to grow him out to a boar and keep our fingers crossed that he's a good breeder. But these two other ones that are with them, they won't hang around. Their genetics just aren't good enough to keep a quality breeding operation. As a farm, you want to always be upping your game as far as genetics goes. We're looking for continual improvement of our beef genetics with our cattle, our pig genetics. That's why I've been talking so much about going to better genetics and creating a higher quality product. We always want to strive not to be the kind of cheapest, because that's not what we're in. We're not a commodity farm. We're a higher end niche sort of farm that serves a particular market that's more discerning about the meat that they eat and the meat that they raise. So I'm not in raising pigs to compete with commodity prices. You know, if you look at pork bellies on the stock market, you know, they're doing this. Our farm doesn't do that. Our prices do this. I mean, historically, 10 years ago since we started the farm, our prices and our demand has done this. It hasn't done this. So in the type of operation I'm talking about for raising pigs and raising high quality feeder stock, I won't be subject to that same up and down for the people that are raising kind of the minimum quality genetics, because I'm catering to a wider geographic area and a smaller customer base that cares about quality. It's just a basic difference in a way that we need to work as a small farm to remain viable today, different from the big giant farms that raise thousands and thousands a head and are subject to those commodity pressures that push prices up and down. Hey, piggers. What's going on, guys? When they run, they kind of bounce up and down. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Now, don't come here and touch the fence here. You want to give me... There you go. Yes. All right, I'm coming in. Here come the rest of them. Hello. You are friendly, but then you run away. Hi. Hi, bossy pig. You're not afraid of me, are you? No, you're gonna bite me. Having stated the purpose and the business idea for pigs on our farm, I have to let you know, I struggled with that for years. In fact, there were many times I almost got rid of having pigs on our farm because they don't fit with our farming model, which is moving animals around on grass. And pigs, I don't move them around on grass. And the reason is because if you put the type of pigs we raise on grass for an hour, you've got torn up grass, and you can't make hay off that land, and you can't do a lot of the things that we do with it because they rut it up. You guys are terrible. You're after me. So it took me 10 years to figure out, you just apply the same attitude that you do to raising cattle that we have, which is preserving a heritage breed and providing something that isn't ordinarily available anyplace else. Just apply that to the pork operation too, and attract those folks that are looking for it. And it all fits together now. It's wonderful when a plan comes together. It only took 10 years. And I hate to have to do this, but you always got to put the caveat on. Yes, I know you can put rings in their noses and run them across pastures so that they can't dig in the dirt. I'm not going to do that. And there are also pasture breeds of pork, and I know about them too, but I'm just not interested in raising them. These chickens are loving the pumpkin we threw into their yard. Well, don't leave on my account. At least you left me some presents. You know, there's plenty of empty nesting boxes. There's one right here. Nice to see you ladies doing your jobs. Good job. Yeah. Somebody did their job there. Laying hens really have two purposes on the farm, both for eggs and for meat. And the purpose of the laying hens is to lay eggs for 2 years, and by that time, I'll put a chart up on the screen. Their egg production declines to the point where we turn them into stew hens. So at the end of their life, we get some really delicious meat out of the stew hens. It's just tough and it needs to cook a long time. And there's a whole different customer base for that. And we keep our laying flock efficient, so every lady's got a purpose in here just like everybody else on the farm, by rotating out the breeds. So if we say we keep 5 standard breeds, and say this year we grew out from pullets, white leghorns, and Rhode Island Reds, we know at the end of next year we'll be harvesting them for stew chickens. So we keep those standard breeds, we replace them on a yearly basis, so you just look at the breed of the chicken and you know, oh, that chicken is a year old, that chicken's 2 years old. It makes it really easy to keep an efficient flock. There's a real danger in not keeping an efficient flock, and we did that for a few years where the chickens kind of got away from us. We ran out of time at the end of the year. It got too cold to do stew hens. You wind up putting a lot of feed into your flock for not a lot of eggs, because you got a lot of old ladies hanging around. And I think that's an issue as the backyard chicken movement's grown, where a lot of people are keeping hens and they just can't bear to see them go at the end of their useful life, so they keep them into old age, and then you've got a geriatric laying flock that ain't laying very many eggs anymore. And at $1/4 pound a day per chicken, times at our peak we were keeping 400 laying hens, the money adds up really quickly keeping older hens. But I just got to show you, because I found the one animal that we keep on our farm that doesn't have a purpose, and I'll show you him. It's this really big chicken right here, the black one. You see him under there? That guy is Benjamin the turkey, and he is, I guess he's about 8 years old. He actually does have a purpose, although it's a very indirect one. One Thanksgiving at the Ithaca Farmers Market, the mayor of Ithaca pardoned him. And we agreed, when he pardoned him, that that turkey would be able to live out its life, and we're honoring that. Even a few roosters have a purpose here. We keep 3, maybe 4 roosters at this point, and their job is to guard the flock. They have a job. When the chickens are out in the field, if a hawk flies overhead, the roosters sound the alarm call, and the chickens all race either up into the eggmobile or down underneath the eggmobile. So they're warning roosters. That's their job. Oh yeah, and another one of those questions. Well, you keep roosters and you have laying hens. What about the eggs? Doesn't matter. Some of the eggs are fertilized. We refrigerate them every day. There's no problem with having fertilized eggs for sale. Well, let's go in here. I'm looking for a particular animal. That animal hangs out up here quite a bit, although it's not these ladies. These ladies are up here too. We'll go looking for him. Well, he wasn't up in the barn. We'll look in. There he is. Ezra. Ezra's job is to purr. You hear that purr? But seriously, Ezra's job is rodent control. Ezra's good at catching mice. He doesn't catch rats, he catches mice and chipmunks. And he has a use. I mean, we feed him every day, and in return, he performs that function for us. And he checks my back too. This cat's always got my back. See? He's got my back. Although every animal has purpose here on the farm, Hillary and I do have some regrets when they go, and that's natural. The longer they're here, the more we get attached to them. And getting attached to them, for me, is a necessary part of raising animals responsibly. It's part of caring for them. It's part of caring for their well-being, making sure they're doing all right every day. And how much we care for them is really in direct relationship to how long they're here. Broiler chickens that are here for 8 weeks, they just go. No big deal. A cow like Carrie that was here for 8 years, yeah, it's hard. But it's never so hard that I regret the way we do things. And I think that's where the disconnect comes in with folks that have never raised animals on a farm and those that have. It's just understood as part of it's not a contract, but it's a kind of covenant that you enter into being a livestock farmer, bonding with the animals and then seeing them fulfill their purpose, which is to put meat on the table for those who sometimes may not be that familiar with farming. And of course, part of the purpose of that channel is to bring a human face to that process and to realize, hey, these are reasonable people that do this work and they do care and love the animals that they raise. So I'm not heartless. I'm not a psychopath. I'm a livestock farmer, and I enjoy what I do, and I have no regrets when I go to bed at night. To finish this video on a higher note, 'tis the holiday season, so I have a couple things. Number one, we have these nice hats and shirts and hoodies and stuff on our merchandise site. Now, I'm not here to hawk merchandise, but people do want to make a connection to the farm sometimes by buying farm merchandise, and there's a link to the website. Farm Focused is our company in the video description down below. And the second thing I want to know is I've been getting a lot of notes lately from folks that YouTube seems to unsubscribe people from the channel, and they're like, hey, I missed your videos for a month or 2 months and I don't know what happened. So just check to make sure that you're subscribed. If you're not, you want to make sure you are, because you know we make pretty good videos here and I want you all to watch them. Anyway, happy kickoff to your Christmas season. I hope that you can button your pants after you finish your Thanksgiving meal now that it's been a little while, and I'll see you in the next video. Right, little piggies? We'll see them in the next video. Can you see that? Look at this. Looks like I have a friend. Looks like I have a couple of friends.